There is a number on the window sticker of every new car in America that you are not allowed to argue with, not the price. The price is negotiable. That's the whole ritual, the back and forth, the sales manager disappearing into a back office, not the documentation fee either. In most states, you can push on that, and in some states, the law pushes for you. This is something else. It sits below the MSRP in its own line, and it is the one number on that sticker that no dealer in the country has the authority to remove. Not because they don't want to, because they legally cannot. It's called the destination charge. Officially, it covers the cost of moving the vehicle from the factory to the dealership. In 2025, the average was $1,551, up 37% from 2019. A decade earlier, in 2015, it was $961. Today, a 2026 Ford F-150 carries a destination fee of $2,795, adding more than 7% to the cost of America's best-selling vehicle. The Chevy Silverado, the GMC Sierra, the GMC Yukon, all $2,795. At the top end, an Alfa Romeo Tonale, a compact crossover, carries $3,250. Here is the detail that should stop you. The fee is a flat, average charge, identical whether the vehicle traveled a mile from the plant or across the continent. You cannot avoid it by picking the car up at the factory yourself, and manufacturers are under no obligation to explain how the number is calculated. They never have. In 2025, American car buyers paid more than $26 billion in destination charges, and a Massachusetts dealer named John Morrill described the practice to the Wall Street Journal in terms the industry rarely says out loud, that it is a way of raising prices that is less transparent to the consumer. That's the story. Not a shipping fee that got expensive, a price increase that learned how to hide. Start with the honest version, because there is one. Cars have to get from where they're built to where they're sold. A vehicle rolls off a line in Michigan or Kentucky or Toluca, gets loaded onto a truck or a rail car, moves across the country, gets unloaded at a dealership, and sits on a lot waiting for you. That costs money. Fuel, drivers, rail contracts, insurance against damage in transit, the logistics staff who coordinate all of it. Nobody disputes that the cost is real. The destination charge exists because of a law. The Automobile Information Disclosure Act passed in 1958, and the reason the window sticker exists at all requires every manufacturer to affix a label to every new vehicle disclosing the price and the charges attached to it. That law is why you can walk onto a lot and read what a car costs without asking anyone. It was consumer protection legislation, and it worked. The destination charge sits on that sticker as a separate line. Disclosed, legal, visible to anyone who reads it. And that's the part worth sitting with, because everything that follows isn't a story about a hidden fee. It's a story about a fee hiding in plain sight on a label that was created specifically to prevent hidden fees. Ask a salesperson to knock the destination charge off your deal, and you'll get a version of the same answer everywhere. They can't. They're telling the truth. The destination charge is set by the manufacturer, not the dealership. It arrives with the car, printed on the federally mandated sticker, and the franchise agreements between automakers and their dealers do not give the dealer authority to alter it. A dealer who discounts destination is discounting out of their own margin and creating a compliance problem for themselves. This creates a structure worth naming plainly. The dealer takes the blame. They're the one in the room when you object, but the dealer isn't the one setting the number and can't fix it for you even if they'd like to. The manufacturer sets the number and is never in the room. Now, a practical caveat, because this matters if you're actually buying. You can't remove the line item. You can negotiate the total. If a dealer wants your business, money can come off the vehicle price to offset what's added in destination. The fee is fixed. The out the door number isn't. anyone who tells you the whole deal is non-negotiable because one line is non-negotiable is confusing two different things. If destination charges are freight, they should behave like freight. Track them against the things that actually drive shipping costs and see if they do. They don't. Between 2015 and 2025, the average destination charge went from $961 to $1,551, roughly a 61% increase. Fuel, the single largest variable in trucking, did not rise anywhere close to that over the same period. Consumer Reports found the range across the industry jumped from $995 to $2,095 in the 2024 model year to $1,150 to $3,250 by 2026, a 2-year move that no logistics cost curve explains. Then there's the geography problem. The charge is averaged nationally, so a buyer 20 minutes from the assembly plant pays the same as a buyer 3,000 miles away. That's defensible as a simplification until you notice that at least one automaker, Subaru, has begun setting variable fees that differ by state, which means the national average model was never a technical necessity. It was a choice. And the comparison that does the most damage, the Alfa Romeo Tonale carries a destination charge of $3,250. The Dodge Hornet, a vehicle of the same size, built at the same plant by the same parent company, is listed at $1,995. Same factory, same trucks, same roads, a difference of more than $1,200. Whatever that gap measures, it isn't shipping. So what is it measuring? Sam Fiorani, an analyst at Auto Forecast Solutions, told Cars.com what most of the industry will only imply, that automakers may simply be profiting from these fees, and pointed to the steepest increases landing on large pickups and SUVs. Those are the highest margin, highest demand vehicles in the market. If the fee tracked freight, the heaviest vehicles would cost somewhat more to move. If the fee tracks what buyers will tolerate, the most in-demand vehicles would carry the biggest increases. The second pattern fits better. The mechanism is straightforward once you see it. MSRP, the manufacturer's suggested retail price, is the number that gets advertised, compared, written about, and scrutinized. It is in every ad, every review, every listicle about affordable cars. Destination sits in a footnote, the asterisk after the starting price. Hold MSRP flat and raise destination, and the headline price stays intact while revenue per vehicle goes up. The car still starts under $40,000. The buyer still pays more. The timing supports this. Automakers under tariff pressure faced a specific bind in 2025. Costs were rising, and raising sticker prices was politically fraught. The Wall Street Journal reported that automakers were told in March 2025 that raising prices in response to tariffs would bring consequences. GM, General Motors, cited the trade environment and supply and demand when explaining its increases. Mitsubishi pointed to tariffs on imported vehicles. Both were describing cost pressure, and both were routing it through a line item that is not the sticker price. GM and Chevrolet moved truck destination fees from $1,995 to $2,095 during the 2025 model year, then to $2,595 for 2026. Ford and Ram followed. In roughly a year, GM raised destination on its trucks by around $800. That is not a freight adjustment, that is pricing. The obvious question, if this is visible on a federally mandated label, why hasn't it been stopped? Because nothing about it is illegal. The disclosure requirement is satisfied, the number is printed exactly where the law says it must be. The 1958 Act requires manufacturers to disclose the charge. It does not require them to justify it, cap it, tie it to actual costs, or explain the methodology. Manufacturers aren't obligated to reveal how the figure is calculated, and they don't. State dock fee caps don't apply because this isn't a dealer fee. The FTC's rules on deceptive fees push toward including mandatory charges in advertised prices, which is real progress on disclosure, but disclosure was never the weak point. The number was always disclosed. It's the amount that nobody regulates. and the buyer's position is structurally weak in a way that's easy to miss. Competition normally disciplines prices, but you can't shop destination charges the way you shop a car. Every dealer selling that model charges the identical fee because the manufacturer set it. You can switch brands, but every major manufacturer has been raising the same line. There is no discount option because it isn't a competitive market for that line item. It's 15 or so separate monopolies, one per brand, on a mandatory charge. None of this makes you helpless. It makes you specific. Know the number before you shop. Destination is model specific and published on the window sticker by law and on manufacturer sites, Consumer Reports, and KBB before you ever walk in. A $2,795 fee on a truck versus $1,175 on a comparable sedan is a real $1,600 difference in what you'll pay. Treat it as part of the price because it is. Negotiate out the door, never monthly, never MSRP. Ask every dealer for one number, total cost to drive away, everything included. That single habit neutralizes most fee games because it doesn't matter which line something hides in if you're only comparing totals. Let it influence the comparison. Two vehicles that look $800 apart on sticker may be dead even after destination or reversed. Between brands, the spread is wide enough to change which car is actually cheaper. Refuse to pay for it twice. Destination covers getting the car to the lot. If you see a separate dealer prep or vehicle prep charge for removing plastic and washing the car, that work is already covered by destination and often reimbursed to the dealer by the manufacturer besides. That one is a dealer fee, and that one you can fight. Don't take it out on the salesperson. They didn't set it and can't remove it. Push on the vehicle price instead. That's where they have room, and that's where your leverage actually lives. 68 years ago, Congress decided car buyers were being kept in the dark and passed a law requiring every price to be printed on the window. It was a good law. It's still working. Every number we've discussed is right there, exactly where the statute says it has to be. And that's the uncomfortable part. This isn't a scheme that beat the disclosure rules. It's a scheme that satisfies them completely. The fee is disclosed, printed, federally mandated, and entirely unexplained, and $26 billion a year moves through it while remaining technically fully transparent. The lesson isn't that someone lied to you, it's that being shown a number and being told what it means are two different things, and only one of them is required by law. Read the sticker, all of it, then negotiate the only number that was ever really yours to negotiate, the total.